Hello everybody! First thing you've probably noticed is I got a haircut from last video. It is true, I still need to hit them roots in there, but we're working on it to the perfect hairstyle ever. No, I just need to re-dye my hair. So in this video, I've been having a little bit of difficulty coming up with concepts to talk to you guys about. And I want these videos to be a constant thing, something that I don't forget about and just not upload. So I've come up with what I think is pretty interesting. It is called Story Time, where I tell you a story from my past. Hopefully it is informative and you guys can join in on the comments, letting me know your stories or any sort of information you just want to join in to the conversation with. So for today's video, I wanted to capture a story that happened to me a long time ago, but it was the first time where I truly felt mortal. It was, God, I don't even remember, I think I was like 12, something like that. And me and my family, we went to a flea market, a big place where people come with like tents and have lots of stuff. And I had been spending the whole day at this flea market. I remember specifically that I found this one booth that had like things like gyroscopes and those crazy like spinny top things with magnets that you lift up and they just hover there. It just blew my mind. And I think I stayed at that one booth for like 7 hours to the point where like the guy was like, hey, you should go check out other booths, kid. Like, get the hell, because I was also like an annoying child. I'd ask like stupid questions of everyone all the time. So anyway, about at the end of the day, my brother had found another booth that he really liked, and it had some art in it, and it was kind of oriental. And he had been talking to this guy the whole time who ran the booth, just kind of about like stuff that they were both interested in. And one of the things this guy was doing was palm reading. He's reading people's hands and giving them advice and stuff like that. My brother just freaking loved this dude. Like, it's funny because I found a booth that I loved, he found a booth that he loved, and then we just kind of like, I guess it was our family personalities just to stay at a single booth that we liked. So this was his booth. So we were getting up to leave, you know, we're getting ready to leave, and my brother and I guess we're all getting it done. I guess I can't remember, but I was going to get my hand read, my palm read. So I'm sitting there with a guy, and I can't even like, it's funny because in my memory, he's like the so stereotypical like Asian, like older fellow, like with like a pencil mustache that goes down and like a pigtail. It's probably not true, but that's how I like to remember him. So he's reading my palm and he's telling me things like, oh, this is your wealth line and blah, 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 blah. And then he says, well, like, here's a crease that mentions that you do outrageous things or ridiculous things to get out of scenarios that you don't like. And at that moment, when he's talking about like that part of me, I'm just like, I don't want to be here. I do not want, like, I'm feeling weird. This is creeping me out, and I don't want to be in this situation. And then he like keeps going on, and like things start to get like a little bit foggy, and I'm like, this is weird. This guy has mystical powers and he's like taking over my, like I don't know what's going on. I'm freaking out. And then my stomach, like I start feeling super nauseous and super dizzy. And I am like, I cannot figure out, like we're having this mystical moment here, and I'm freaking out, right? I remember turning to my father and saying, I feel sick. What apparently happened is I turned to my father and then fell on my knees, and my father thought I was being silly, and he was like, hey, Chad, like stop. And then I slumped over into him, and there's something, it's something my father described in which I experienced later, which is the scariest thing in the world, is when you feel the dead weight of someone fall onto you. Because maybe as a kid you've wrestled with other kids, or you know that when you're touching another human, they can support themselves. But when you touch someone who is absolute dead weight, it is one of the scariest moments in your life, because you realize that they're lifeless, that they can't do anything to support themselves. And that's what my father felt. He felt me slump straight onto him with complete dead weight. They freaked out. Here's what's going on in my point of view. I think that I turn to my father and say, I'm feeling sick. Apparently those words never left my body. And then the whole world, from the edges in, turned black. So like I start seeing this stuff on the edges, it comes into tunnel vision, and then pure blackness. And then from that point, it was very much like a dream. I felt like I was falling through this tunnel of lights that, it was like a big, it was almost like the Death, you know, when Luke falls through the Death Star thing, it was like kind of like that, but like more neon. And it was like a complete trip. Like it was like absolutely insane. There was this crazy clicking going on in my ears, and the clicking became longer and longer and more drawn out and more drawn out. And then I could tell that there was something in the clicking. Someone was saying something to me, and it was actually my father screaming my name, saying, Chad, Chad, Chad. And then that faded in to reality again with my father over me, screaming my name, trying to wake me up. Apparently I had been unconscious for around 30 to 45 seconds. And then I came out of what had happened to me. What we believe it was, we didn't really have a doctor on hand, and I didn't go to the doctor afterwards, but what we believe it was dehydration. If I went back through the steps of that day, I hadn't drinking anything the entire day. This was in a Texas heat, so it's very easy that I had a soda, I think, at one point, which I believe is worse for you. So my dehydration got the better of me, and I passed out via lack of water. Now, this story, while being crazy and insane, really impressed upon me at sort of a young age that I cannot control everything in my life all the time. I remember that sensation of the blackness creeping in on my eyes and wanting it to go away, and there's nothing I could do. It just happened to me, and there was no way that I could possibly stop it. No matter if I tried to will it away, it just wouldn't happen. And that is the first moment that I realized that I'm not invincible in this world. Things will come at me or happen to me or happen around me that I can't control, and that changed my point of view for the future and forever. And I'm sure that you guys have a similar story. Maybe it was a car accident. For my brother, I know he was on train tracks, and a train started to come down the train tracks, and the car in front of him and the car behind him couldn't move, and so he was trapped on the train tracks, and he had a near-death experience where there was no way to move his car out of the train tracks, and that was his moment. So if you ever have, it could be near-death experience or a moment where you really realize that you are not invincible in this world. And some of you may not have come to that conclusion yet, and if that's true, I hope that this story helps you a little bit in life. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you would like to check out all of my extra videos, make sure that you subscribe, comment below, give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. I will see you guys next video.
OMG, it's Chad!